السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على حي على الصلاة حي على حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبد الله ورسوله أرسله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله وكفى بالله شهيدا. فصلوات الله وسلامه عليه. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد. My brothers and sisters in Islam, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we praise Him, we thank Him, we ask for forgiveness, we seek guidance from Him, and we ask Him to protect us from the evil of our own selves and the evil of our actions. Indeed, whoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides, then no one can misguide. And whoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala misguides, then no one can guide. If you can please silence that mouth. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us mindfulness of Him. Whoever is mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then much great comes from that. And one of the ways we can help ourselves become more mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is by using the environment around us. We live in a beautiful world. California, here, Orange County, is extremely beautiful. It's not just beauty, it's science, it's knowledge. Look at and study the mountains. It's a science of itself. Study the flow of rivers. It's a science itself. Water and its benefits. That's a science. Look at every single thing in existence. Everything has a purpose. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave this to us, taught us how to benefit from it so that we can live better lives. But every single thing, no matter how small as an atom, or how big, the size of the stars, right? Everything has a purpose. What about us? If everything has a purpose, do we not have a purpose as well? Or is everything plays its role and us, we're just kind of there in the middle? Not at all. And Muslims know this. We have a purpose. And our purpose is to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. We are people of La ilaha illallah. We are the people of there's nothing worthy of worship except Allah. And we do it. And we fulfill it. One of the ways we fulfill it is through this prayer. So we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for allowing us to practice our purpose by coming here to this prayer. Today, I direct our attention to Surah Al-Hashr, 59th chapter of the Quran. This chapter was revealed between the second and third year of the Hijrah calendar, meaning very, very early on. Right? It came after an event in which Muslims were able to gain a very big victory through political means, without any blood being shed, without any warfare, and without a battle going on. They won a big victory through a political, non-violent means. This is what happened. Now, I don't want to talk about the politics of it. I want to talk about some points, 3 points mainly, in the rest of the chapter, which we can use to help ourselves in our times today, and we can understand how that victory, that non-violent, that political victory came about. The first set of verses is لِلْفُقَرَاء الْمُهَاجِرِينَ. After Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes some details of the victory, He says, لِلْفُقَرَاء الْمُهَاجِرِينَ الَّذِينَ أُخْرِجُوا مِنْ دِيَارِهِمْ till the end of the verse. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directs our attention to the people who He gave victory to. Number one, to the poor. The poor immigrants, meaning the Sahaba who were from Mecca, who made immigration from Mecca to Medina. And look how He started them off with, the poor. The poor immigrants, right? We see today, and this is 100% right, that we need to get into politics, we need to get into this and that, 100% right. And we should do it and continue doing it. But we also forget that these Sahaba were poor and had no political power, yet they got victory. Right? Why? Look at the rest. أُخْرِجُوا مِنْ دِيَارِهِمْ وَأَمْوَالِهِمْ يَبْتَغُونَ فَضْلًا مِنَ اللَّهِ وَرِضْوَانًا. They left their homes, they left everything behind, all their wealth, their families, their tribes, their home, and they left. Why? For the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They did this, they left something, they left everything for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah rewarded them with something better. Very simple. So when we go into politics, when we go to protest, when we take the means to help our brothers and sisters around the world, to help ourselves here in America, let the intention be for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Remember that purpose that you have, to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are doing this because this pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are doing this because this is part of our role as human beings here, as Muslims on earth. And then the next verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes the Ansar, the natives of Medina, right? وَالَّذِينَ تَبَوَّأُوا الدَّارَ وَالْإِيمَانَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ. Those people who were already living in Medina, and their hearts already had Iman in it. Iman was living in their hearts. Very beautiful, elegant way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describing their Iman. It's living in their hearts. And as you can see, the connection between the Muhajirin and the Ansar, the immigrants and the Ansar, the natives of Medina, both had Iman. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praised both of their Iman. يُحِبُّونَ مَنْ هَاجَرَ إِلَيْهِمْ. They love those who immigrated to them. They love those who immigrated to them. That brotherhood, that bond is there, right? Today, unfortunately, I'm Palestinian. I'll talk about Palestine, right? My great aunt, the aunt of my father, told me that once they immigrated from what's called the 48, right? The western part of Palestine, right? They immigrated from there to the eastern part, what's called the West Bank today, right? They said that we would be called and looked at as asylums, as refugees. They would call us, the refugees are here. They're in the same country, and the distance between these 2 points is literally maybe smaller than from here to Los Angeles. So imagine going to Los Angeles and the people of LA saying, look at these refugees. It's unbelievable, right? Where is the love? When the Muhajirin came, they loved them. It was love that brought about that victory. Political means are a way, but love is what gave soul to those political means. يحبون من هاجر إليهم ولا يجدون في صدورهم حاجة مما أوتوا. And you don't find envy, you don't find hate in their hearts towards the immigrants when the Prophet ﷺ gave them a little bit of extra wealth. Now when this victory came about, there was wealth that came about with it. Now the Muhajirin were poor, the immigrants were poor, right? So the Prophet ﷺ saw that it was best to give the immigrants more of the money, right, to establish them in their new land. Today, if that would happen, we know what would happen. It would be the results. It would be a big fit, people will be mad, right? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes the Ansar as what? They loved them. They did not feel envy that they got more. They did not feel hate towards them that they got more. They loved them, therefore they were happy for them. They sacrificed what could be for them for their sake. وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَى أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصَةٌ. Not only did they sacrifice, they actually gave. Right? And they will give to them, to their brothers and sisters, their new brothers and sisters who they love, that which they are in need of. Right? And we all know the story of the Sahabi, who him and his wife, very poor, they're not wealthy. Right? A Sahabi asked the Prophet ﷺ, he said, I am hungry, I don't have food. Is there anyone who can host me? So the Prophet ﷺ asked the companions, is there anyone who's willing to host this person? So Sahabi raised his hand and said, I will host them. I will host him. They go. He told his wife, put the kids to sleep, dim the lights, pretend that you are eating. We don't have enough food to feed all of us. We're going to give him the food, and we'll just sleep hungry today. We'll sleep without a dinner today. Right? Dim the lights, make noise as if you're eating so that the other individual doesn't feel discomfort. Right? And this is what happened. And then this verse, or this part of the verse, was revealed, praising and honoring that family. That they gave to someone in need, even though they themselves were in need. وَمَنْ يُوقَ شُحَّ نَفْسِهِ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. And whoever is able to overlook their wants, right? Not their needs, their wants, then they are the ones who will find victory. Giving to others, having that spirit of selflessness when dealing with your brothers and sisters. The second verse I want to point to says, لا يقاتلونكم جميعا إلا في قرى محصنة أو من وراء جدر بأسهم بينهم شديد تحسبهم جميعا وقلوبهم شتى. If we can move forward, please. جزاكم الله خير. Fill the lines so everyone can, so we can accommodate everyone. جزاكم الله خير. In this verse, I want to focus on بأسهم بينهم شديد. They saw the entire Arab Peninsula gathering against them. They were agreeing with one another. They were conspiring with one another to the point where it seems like they are one body, one unit, fighting for one cause. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says it may look like that, but in reality, they dislike one another. You think they are one unit, but in reality, they're against one another. They're not one unit. thought about this verse and I analyzed it, I came up with this. When they fought, or when they went after the Sahaba and the Muslims, each one had their own goal, right? So today we have Fox News, we have CNN, we have all these outlets, right? All of them, their first goal is what? Money, revenue. Pretty normal, right? And revenue is based on ratings. But that's a fight between one another, between them. Right? If one rating is high, the other one's going to be a little bit lower. So you think that they're all Islamophobia and they're all talking about Islam, they're promoting this, the extremist version of Islam, saying this is Islam, right? We all know it. You think that they're all in agreement, but in reality, they don't like one another. They're not in agreement. So don't be fooled by that outer image. Look at reality. It is their desires which split them apart. And we take from this that the reason I believe we are so divided today, the Muslims, is because we are following our desires. We are not following the essence, the core, our purpose. How can we be disunited when our book is one? The Quran is one, right? The Sunnah is one. Our scholars are one. Tongue in past. Our theology is one. We all believe in La ilaha illallah. We all believe that we are going to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We all believe in the angels and the books and all the pillars of Islam and all the pillars of Islam and Iman, right? How can we be this united when everything is one? It's because we are not truly following what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us to do. We are following our desires. Palestine wants this. Saudi Arabia wants this. I'm not trying to get political. They are going after certain personal or political goals. Once we can unify, remember our purpose, us as a community, remember our purpose, look at one another as we are bearers of La ilaha illallah, believers of La ilaha illallah, this will unify us. Going back to what? The purpose which I spoke about before. Understand your purpose. The third point I want to make, and this is the kind of the concluding advice Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us in this chapter. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu ittaqullah wal tanzur nafsun ma qaddamat lighad. O you who believe, be mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Be mindful of Him. Why? Because that's in your best interest. When we are mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what does He tell us to do? He tells us to do that which is beneficial to us. When we pray 5 times a day, why? What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gain? Absolutely nothing. We can pray day and night, we can fast day and night, right? We can give charity left and right, we can do Hajj every year, we can do Umrah again every year. What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala benefit from that? And we are the ones benefiting from it. But we have lost, we have forgotten our purpose, we have forgotten the bonuses, the beauty behind these acts of worship, and therefore we turn away from them. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us mindfulness of Him. قولوا قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه أما بعد. Be mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and prepare for tomorrow, meaning the next life. Prepare for it. Because if we're all preparing for the next life, we're all on the same track. We're all trying to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we're not trying to please our own selves, we're not trying to please our, certain figures or whatever. Our goal is one. That's what it becomes. We start competing with each other on noble causes, not unworldly affairs. We start looking at each other, judging each other, not judging. We start seeing each other in a spiritual sense, not in a worldly sense, right? This person is someone who prays 5 times a day, they fast from Ramadan, they give their charity. This is a good person. I'm going to become friends with that person, because when I become friends with that person, it benefits me. But when our goal is that person has a Mercedes, that person has this, that person has that, and then we compete on something that's permissible, nothing wrong with having these cars, but it's not as noble as competing for the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. and be mindful of Allah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is well acquainted with what you do. And what's more beautiful than believing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees you and knows what you do? The King of the universe is interested in you as a person. Not in us as general, yes, in us in general, but in you as a person. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is interested in what you do. How beautiful is that? We always look at the verses in a negative and a pessimistic type of understanding. Look at it in an optimistic way, in a beautiful way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is interested. He knows what you do. He's interested in what you do. He wants you to do good. He wants you to come closer to Him. وَلَا تَكُونُوا كَالَّذِينَ نَسُوا اللَّهَ فَأَنْسَاهُمْ أَنفُسَهُمْ أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ. And don't be like those who forgot Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and therefore they forgot their own selves. Again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not benefit from our worship. It doesn't matter to Him. If you were to erase the entire universe, that would not lessen from His strength, from His power, from His perfection one bit. And if He were to increase this universe a millionfold, that would not increase in His power and His perfection one bit. Put things into perspective. When we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are benefiting our own selves. So don't be like those who forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and therefore they forgot what's in their own best interest. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made a religion for you, not for Himself. He made a law for you, not for Himself. He gave you what's in your best interest, not in His. When He told us not to drink, not to fornicate, not to gamble, not to do this and that, didn't do it just to make our lives miserable, to make we're not having fun, right? He did it because it's the opposite of fun. He did it because it's not healthy for you. He did it because it takes you away from a fun, from a healthy, from a sound, from a pure lifestyle. And when He told you to pray 5 times a day, to do this, to give charity, He did it, why? To give you a beautiful lifestyle. And look at the Sahaba. When they performed that, their lives were the best. As Zubayr ibn Awwam, one of the 10 people who the Prophet ﷺ guaranteed paradise. One of the 10. I calculated his wealth today. Right? I tried to take into account inflation. The earliest value of gold, or the dollar, which I was able to come across, was 1780. All right, so based on that value, Zubayr today would have around $13 billion. 13 billion. Imagine that. Did Zubayr, have fun in his life? And he had fun in his life, but he had fun through Islam. And he became rich through Islam. And this is contrary to what, unfortunately, many of the youth and many of us think, that Islam isn't compatible with today, or Islam, holds us back. That's not true. Zubayr died with $13 billion. Uthman bin Affan was a multi-millionaire. Abdurrahman bin Auf was a multi-millionaire. Abu Bakr was a very successful businessman. Umar was a very successful businessman. Right? Sa'd bin Abu Waqqas, he had palaces. Uthman bin Affan, he would come out every day with a new gown. He wouldn't wear the same clothes twice. That's how rich he was. Back then. Today we don't do that. Back then he was doing it. He gained because his purpose was the next life. His purpose was for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He loved his brothers and sisters in Islam because he knew what his purpose was. He knew the value of La ilaha illallah. So my brothers and sisters, connect the dots. I came across 3 points in this chapter. Number 1, the attributes of those who gained that political, non-violent victory. They loved one another, and they loved Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why did they love one another? How can we love one another? By understanding, looking at each other and what our hearts carry, not what our hands carry. Look around you. Everyone here believes in what? In La ilaha illallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves La ilaha illallah. Will you not love someone who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves? Once your goal is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, everything else falls into place. Once your intention is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, everything else easily falls in place. They loved one another because they knew each one of them carried La ilaha illallah in their hearts. It became easy to love one another. I love Allah. Allah loves this person, therefore I love that person. Very, very simple. So the attributes of those who were given victory was love for one another, was care for one another, was sacrifice for one another, And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala concludes the verses of describing the Muhajirin and Ansar, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us a role too. وَالَّذِينَ جَاءُوا مِن بَعْدِهِمْ يَقُولُونَ رَبَّنَا اغْفِرْ لَنَا وَلِإِخْوَانِنَا الَّذِينَ سَبَقُونَا بِالْإِيمَانِ وَلَا تَجْعَلْ فِي قُلُوبِنَا غِلًّا لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا رَبَّنَا إِنَّكَ رَءُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ. This is our role. Those who came after them, after the Muhajirin and Ansar, the successors of the Sahaba, the successors of the successors of the Sahaba, until our day today, our role is we say, "Oh Allah, forgive us and forgive our brothers, those who surpassed us, those who came before us, and don't put in our hearts any sort of envy, any hate towards our brothers and sisters." This is our role. I recommend we say this every day, at least once, with a prayer or in a prayer. This is chapter 59, verse 10. رَبَّنَا اغْفِرْ لَنَا وَلِإِخْوَانِنَا الَّذِينَ سَبَقُونَا بِالْإِيمَانِ وَلَا تَجْعَلْ فِي قُلُوبِنَا غِلًّا لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا رَبَّنَا إِنَّكَ رَءُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ. The second point we came across is the cause of disunity is what? In reality, the intention. When our attention, our hearts are attached to different things, we disunify. We become disunited. But when we all attach to our purpose, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created for, which is La ilaha illallah, then how can we be disunited? If my goal is to promote La ilaha illallah, and someone else's goal is to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then no doubt we will come hand in hand. Very easy. Third, be mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you be mindful by recognizing your purpose. When you know that you were created for La ilaha illallah, and by the way, La ilaha illallah doesn't mean we pray 17 million times a day and we fast 300 times a year and we give charity every single day. That's not worship itself. Worship is much more comprehensive than what most people think. When you go to work and gain money and spend on your family, that's an act of worship. When you smile, that's an act of worship. When you pick up something off the road, that's an act of worship. So live your life by providing. Live your life by being a good source for the society. This is worship. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, outside the obligations of Islam, helping someone else is more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than praying extra prayers. Smiling to someone and making them feel happy is more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than fasting for that day. One of the greatest deeds which the Prophet ﷺ taught us is bringing happiness, bringing joy to the heart of a Muslim. One of the greatest deeds. Expand your understanding of La ilaha illallah. It's not just prayer and fasting and charity and hajj and umrah. It's more than that. It's being a good person. It's being a positive influence in society, helping out others. These are the three advice. Again, know who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives victory to, and that victory is based on love. Know what disunifies us. Know how to be mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All this goes back to our purpose, which I started the khutbah in. Everything has a purpose, therefore you have a purpose as well. Fulfill your purpose and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take with our hands and He will give us victory in Palestine and in Kashmir and in Myanmar. He will give us status and peace and serenity as we had before. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive the believers. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us strength and iman. Allahumma ighfir lil muslimin wal muslimat wal mu'minin wal mu'minat al ahya'i minhum wal amwat innaka sami'un qareebun mujibud da'awati ya rabbal alamin. اللهم اصلح لنا ديننا الذي هو عصمة أمرنا واصلح لنا دنيانا التي فيها معاشنا واصلح لنا آخرتنا التي إليها معادنا واجعل الحياة زيادة لنا في كل خير واجعل الموت راحة لنا من كل شر. A few announcements. The youth group will be meeting tonight at 7 p.m. The first day of Pillars Academy for the infants or the adolescents, infants from 4 months to 6 years will start on August 23rd. Check out the new infant room and inquire about infant registration specials. There are a few spots available for preschool and kindergarten. The SCMCO Interfaith group is holding their first youth basketball tournament for ages 10 and up on Monday, September 4th. If interested, please sign up with the office. OCIF is looking for a few more volunteers to help build a house for a needy family in Tijuana, Mexico, which will be on October 14th. If you are interested and if you want more information, then you can go to the office. Just a reminder, Keep the masjid clean. If you see something on the floor, remember that Prophet ﷺ said that whoever picks up a piece of dust or debris or trash from the masjid, then they get 10 rewards for that. Again, no talking or using cell phones during the khutbah. It is an obligation, right, to listen to the khatib, to the one giving the khutbah during the prayer, right, during the khutbah. It is an obligation. It's not something you can do if you want to. It's an obligation. And whoever says to the person sitting next to them, don't talk, then they have nullified that reward, right? Not the prayer, they have nullified the reward. Don't talk, please, and don't use your cell phones. And we make dua for Sister Fatima, who was diagnosed with cancer, or with a cancerous tumor. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant her healing, a quick healing. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant them patience through their healing. Welcome as-salam.